Championship match, this time for the PWO Trios Championship. Introducing first the challengers at a total combined weight of 420 pounds, representing Empire. They are the team of the Rejects, JT Kirk, the Misfits, Crystal Moon, and the Standard, Matthew Griff, Empire.
All right. One member is a former internet champion, another member is the inaugural open weight champion, and then we have the debuting Crystal Moon for the first time in Pro Wrestling Ontario. Empire is in the house, and they are here for their Trios Championship match. Looking quite unified with those new Puma jackets.
I hate Matthew Grant. I don't think this is going to be... Calm down. I don't think this is going to be any surprise to anybody who's been following the Ontario indie wrestling scene the last few years. I can't stand this kid. Him and his dumb brother, I hate them. And I don't care what they've accomplished, how many titles they've won, how good they are. Loathe them.
I mean, that might be one thing we kind of agree upon.
Here are the current reigning and defending PWO Trios champions, the team of Tyler Arrow, Mike Forte, and Tom Yatestrike.
Pro Wrestling Ontario Trios champions Yatestrike coming to the ring with a fire in their eyes. Scumbag Yates a little bit maybe too aggressive for Eddington James there, but he seems to be getting a hold of him. Fans are excited to see the champions today. I mean, like, there's a bit of a torn history with this Trios team here. Yates is a bit of a wild card, sometimes just kind of goes out and does his own accord. Forte's trying to hold them all together, so hopefully they can stay unified today against, I mean, what seems to be a way more formidable unified team in Empire.
There is a lot to dislike in this match, Savage. A lot of people, including Eddington James, who really could go straight to hell and I would be okay with it.
My.
What?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome
wow.
Crystal Moon.
Hey, am I wrong in any way, shape, or form? This is just how I feel deep inside.
And everyone is entitled to their feelings and their own honesty.
From the bottom of my heart, which is deep inside my body, to hell with all of them.
I mean, at least Forte still tries to hold it all together and tries to play by the rules.
He's the worst of the lot.
He's the worst of the lot.
Goody, fan ass kissing weirdo. All right, he's a good wrestler.
Fans not shying away to tell Matt Grant precisely how they feel.
Well, Matt Grant is the absolute worst. I know I said Mike Forte was, but Matt Grant, the absolute worst. And Scumbag Yates, even worse than that.
Even worse.
Yeah, just the absolute. Each and every one of them, the absolute worst. It's a contest for the bottom. Oh, here we go.
All right, Trios matchup underway. All 6 participants starting it off in the ring, but now we have Crystal Moon and Scumbag Yates are both the legal competitors so far. As Arrow gets crashed down onto the apron, Crystal Moon is still in the back of Scumbag. Scumbag finally breaks free.
I don't know why he's fighting her. He usually pays extra for that kind of treatment.
Airstrike and Empire fighting on the outside while Crystal Moon gets caught in that crossbody attempt. Scumbag Yates just looks like no effort at all, hoisting her up onto his shoulders. What are we going to see here?
Now watch that hand placement.
A military press overhead.
Oh!
Onto her own team. Fans getting behind Yatestrike here early in this championship matchup. Scumbag's calling for Grant. I mean, I know you said you didn't like him, but...
Yeah, I'm warming up to him. He's beating up Matt Grant.
Has him up. Beautiful scoop slam.
All right. He's instantly my favorite in this match now.
Drops the fist down on him, too, for good measure. Rolls out Tyler Arrow, now the legal man in this matchup with Matthew Grant. Oh, Goes for the kick to the midsection, follows it up with a nice few strikes, hits the ropes. Kick to the side of the face, and a neck breaker. Goes for the cover, hooks the outside leg. Kick out at 2.
Where is it now?
So, is there a sale on red and black in Burlington this week?
It seems like it.
Yeah. I mean, good colors.
No? Pandemic, they're running out of supplies at the gear shop.
You know, the thing is, you know that there were 2 phone calls where somebody on each of these teams said, hey, what are we wearing today?
Matt Grant rolls out. JT Kirk now the legal man. Now Crystal Moon, the legal competitor. Right behind Mike Forte. Oh, Mike seems to be hesitant to hit a girl, but she is not hesitant to bring the fight right to Forte with a nice side headlock.
There you go. There's a huge mistake on Mike Forte's part. He's got an opponent in the ring, and he didn't take a swing at her. I don't care, man, woman, child, dog, alien. If you've got somebody squaring up against you, you swing. Take a swing at them.
Beautiful arm wringer on behalf of the champion, keeping control in this matchup. What is Forte doing? Yeah.
Oh,
Slapped.
open-handed smack.
Slapped right across the face.
That
Crystal
is-
Moon looking fierce. What was that?
I don't know, but I mean, I guess it's a match, so it's kind of consensual.
Has the cover, kick out at 2, brings her right back up to her feet. Has that arm wringer keeping it close to his chest, trying to keep the control in this matchup.
You gotta do it. We're having championships. You gotta do everything that's possible. Okay.
Oh! Yates!
Bravo to Scumbag Yates.
Scumbag Yates not shying away from just striking Crystal Moon right off her feet.
That is an opponent in the ring against his team. They're defending their titles. That was absolutely the right thing for Yates to do.
All right, Kirk and Yates exchanging strikes in the center of the ring, trying to bring the fight, but
JT Kirk.
Kirk hits the ropes. Oh, goes for that big boot. Nobody home, and a nice stiff chop on behalf of the Trios champion.
I am warming up to Scumbag Yates because he is in this to win this.
Nice big scoop slam by Scumbag Yates. Hits the ropes and drops the knee right onto the chin of Kirk. Goes for the cover. Kirk gets the shoulder up just in the nick of time. Rolls out. Crystal Moon, now the legal competitor. Hits those ropes, double knees to the chest. Going for that smaller Meteora almost. Nice senton splash. Hooks the outside leg.
I appreciate the heart of Crystal Moon. I appreciate her aggression here, not wasting any time and getting into that ring once JT Kirk had rolled out and taking the fight to Scumbag Yates. But honest to God, one more well-placed shot right to her jaw, and that should take care of this match.
Really. Empire seem to be in good fluid motions here. Grant coming in, followed up by Kirk with the double knees to the chest. Crystal Moon seems to be going. Nice double knees to the chin, sorry. Grant over the top. Classic Matt Grant. Rolls him through, goes for the cover.
Classic Matt Grant. Should be ashamed of yourself. That was dangerously close to putting him over.
Matthew.
Do you know the lengths I would go to just to hurt Matt Grant's feelings, let alone his body?
Oh, and a poke to the eye. I mean, that's just despicable. Thank you, Eddington James, getting right in there. Arrow starting to try to fight out of the corner, trying to make his way to his team. Grant is keeping him in the center of that ring. Oh, I thought he was going for a German, but just muscles him down, has him in that headlock, keeping him grounded on the mat.
I want to make a point of something here. Is Forte yelling at Arrow about his tactics to get himself out of that corner temporarily. Forte too preoccupied with playing it the straight and narrow and keeping the fans on his team's side. Arrow did the right thing. Thumb to the eyes. Get out of the corner. It's a shame he got cut off. Maybe if Arrow would, if Forte had come into the ring and put the boots to Grant, could have helped him get into the corner and made the tag.
I'm gonna punch you
I
right in
mean,
the face.
flawless logic, absolutely nothing wrong with what you said there. Though Yates was ready for Grant as he hit the ropes there. Kirk seems to be holding on to that full Nelson until he throws Arrow to the ground. It's Yates and Kirk now, both the legal men.
Yeah. Hey, man, remember, it's only cheating if the ref catches you and DQs you. Otherwise, it's just fighting.
Yates with a series of shots. Crystal Moon and Matt Grant both trying to save their partner, but Yates is ready for him, throws Crystal Moon out the one side. Matt Grant follows up with a kick to the ankle. Yates seemed to be favoring that right leg.
What is this now?
Should we see the pop-up codebreaker attempt, but Yates catches him. A little bit of an awkward encounterment there, sending Kirk down to the floor. Has Grant hooked.
Oh!
Beautiful execution on behalf of the champion. Rolls out, so Forte is alone in the ring with Matt Grant. Oh! Almost ragdolling down Crystal Moon and Forte. No hesitation this time. Crystal Moon rolls out. Kirk, your legal man, taking the fight right to Forte. What will we see next from the reject, JT Kirk?
Forte slides out the back.
Beautiful counter by Forte, and beautiful execution.
It's like a steakhouse. Everyone's getting T-bones.
Setting up, kick to the midsection. Spanish fly, goes for the cover, hooks the outside leg. Empire there just in the nick of time. My apologies, that was a sliced bread, not a Spanish fly on behalf of Forte. A little bit of miscommunication happening here in the ring. What is going down?
This is breaking down.
Legal man, now Tyler Arrow. Arrow and Kirk now in the ring. That's him with that face buster.
He tried it on Forte and couldn't get it. Now he hits it on Arrow, but Arrow slides out.
Grant's in the outside. Forte follows up with a beautiful knee right to the chest. Crystal Moon's ready for him. Ripcord. Beautiful execution. Just spikes Forte down to the mat, but Yates is ready with that nice kick to the face.
Yeah, I'm really digging Yates in this match. He's showing me something.
Scumbag Yates up to the top rope.
Oh!
Crashing down on top of Crystal Moon, but he doesn't see Matt Grant climbing the turnbuckle behind him. Drop kick to the chin. Beautiful execution from a former champion. Hooks the outside leg. Just couldn't muscle enough of that force on top of Scumbag Yates.
That's where the size and weight difference definitely is going to come into play. And Yates is still in this match, still surviving for his team in the titles. But no, Matt Grant, JT Kirk just slid him 2 of the Trios belts.
Why do they have the belts?
Eddington James taking the 3rd belt away.
Grant looking to use it. Arrow picks it up.
Oh!
Arrow just blasted, rolls out. Scumbag Yates, now the legal
He's
man
going for the
has
cover.
Grant. And the champions retain.
PWO Trios Champion, the team of Tyler Arrow, Mike Forte, and Scumbag Yates, together, ZBros.
Absolutely brilliant on the part of Tyler Arrow. The belts got tangled together when JT Kirk tried to slide 1 to his brother. He ended up with 2 of them. Matthew Grant tried to use one. Arrow did use the other. And why is Forte arguing? They defended successfully. They are still the champions.
The disconnect looking like it's continuing to grow between our champions. Forte and Arrow can't seem to get on the same page.
This is a mistake by Forte. You don't complain about the way your partner won the match.
Yates saying, I had a plan and it worked. Forte obviously not happy with how this got handled here today. What does this spell for the future of our Trios champions?
The following contest is a special singles encounter. Introducing first, he weighs in tonight at 158
Rip Impact making his way to the ring here this evening at Pro Wrestling Ontario. Apologies are for the week. The high-risk hero, we haven't seen him in a little while. I don't even think he took part in our Foundry series that we had up on YouTube. We haven't seen Rip since February of 2019.
Wow.
2020, that's the year. It's just slipping away from me these days. Great appreciation from the fans here in attendance at Mainway Sports this afternoon for the high-risk hero, Rip Impact.
And introducing his opponent, he weighs in tonight at 158 pounds and hails from Oakville, Ontario. Here is Devon Parkside! So take a look
Devon Parkside making his way to the ring here at Apologies Are For The Week. Now, many of our Pro Wrestling Ontario fans know that Devon Parkside made his return to wrestling at Confidential back in December of 2019 after 13 long years away from the ring. I don't know about you, but I'm quite excited for this singles matchup here tonight between Rip and Devon Parkside.
Absolutely.
So am I, actually. You know, I remember the name of Devon Parkside, but it's been so long that I just don't know what to expect from him. And we know what we're getting from Rip Impact. We're getting solid wrestling. We're getting a little high flying. But Parkside is a mystery.
Parkside is definitely a mystery as Rip has him in that side headlock. Parkside trying to fight his way out of it. Gets it into that nice arm wringer. Applying the pressure, keeping it close to him so that way Rip has trouble accessing the wrist, but he rolls through and a kip up. Rolls through into an arm wringer of his own. Parkside, as you brought up, very well a variable unknown here in Pro Wrestling Ontario and most of the Ontario indie scene after he took the better part of more than a decade off due to concussions and other injuries. But since he's been back, he has been a technical wizard of sorts, focusing a lot more on the methodical pacing in his matchups.
Well, I mean, think about it. If you were trained, active professional wrestler, and then you were forced to stay out of the ring for a dozen years, think about the frustration and think about the scouting you'd be able to do. Think about the generations worth of Ontario independent professional wrestling that he's watched go by and studied and thought, this is how I'd beat them. And now he's getting to put it into practice. I think Parkside's biggest enemy might be himself, might be impatience, might be that frustration. If he gets down in a match, does he start to feel, oh, geez, why am I back? Or have I lost a step? This is each and every match for Devon Parkside would be a test against himself as much against his opponents.
You were absolutely correct there. Beautiful headlock takeover by Rip Impact, but then Parkside able to reverse it right back into that hammerlock of his own, holding Rip down to the mat, rolls him through. Rip manages to kick out at 2. Parkside's ready with a nice deep arm drag of his own. Both men sizing each other up.
What a fantastic bit of wrestling on the part of Parkside to show his technical skill, his ground wrestling, his mat wrestling skill to somebody like Rip Impact, who is such a noted veteran of this sport, noted for his chain wrestling, his mat wrestling. Just letting him know, anything you can do, I can do better.
Absolutely. Lots of pride on behalf of Devon Parkside to be able to step into the ring in this matchup with Rip Impact here today. Both men trying to outmaneuver the other, keeping a hold of that top-knuckled lock. Both men trying to show up the other one. Beautiful takedown by Rip Impact. Devon gets the shoulder up at 1. And again, Impact goes up. Parkside scouts it. Oh my,
wow.
Up to the top. Beautiful lucha arm drag from the top. A beautiful maneuver followed up by a drop kick. Rip is in the corner. Parkside has the momentum behind him. Comes in, beautiful monkey flip, sending Rip Impact flat onto the other side of the ring.
This is what I'm saying. If Parkside can go in there and beat Rip Impact at his own game, what does Rip do? And we're seeing,
I have not seen Rip pull that out as he goes for the cover. Hooks the inside leg. Parkside gets the shoulder up just before 3. As I was saying, I haven't seen Rip pull that out of his arsenal in quite some time.
Well, that's what he's going to have to do. Parkside is showing him, I can play your game just as well as you can. Rip Impact has to change the game.
Oh, beautiful kick to the side of the head, capitalizing, going for the cover. Parkside getting that shoulder up at 2.
Rip also has to be aggressive, which is what we're seeing now. A kick to the head wasn't a, hey, let's keep this friendly maneuver.
Rip Impact definitely needs to tap in a bit more of that furious side, as Devon Parkside seems to be fighting out, striking to the midsection, sending him off into the opposite corner, but just eats that boot. Rip Impact looking to capitalize, bringing Parkside back up to his feet, setting up for looks like a suplex, runs. Beautiful execution on behalf of the high-risk hero.
Loved it.
Goes for the cover. Kick out at 2. Fans definitely getting behind Devon Parkside here today. Parkside seems to be bleeding from his left elbow. Rip pacing around, trying to figure out what he's going to do next. Parkside reverses. Nice waistlock followed up by a waistlock of his own. Goes to send him off into the ropes. Oh, but he gets him through.
O'Connor roll up, but Parkside kicks out and ends up trapping Rip Impact.
I'm starting to wonder who this may hurt more. Rip in the submission holder, Parkside with his flat back on that canvas.
I was going to say a minute ago that this canvas, you mentioned the blood coming from Parkside's elbow. This canvas is unforgiving in 2 ways. 1, abrasions, and 2, the heat that it's absorbed from the sun all afternoon.
Side rush and leg sweep by the high-risk hero. Beautiful cover. And a kick out and right into, looks like the rings of Saturn in a way.
Trapped both arms, butterflied with his legs, and wrenching back on the back of his head, pulling that chin to his own chest.
Parkside able to push the momentum onto Rip's shoulders to try to go for the cover, forcing Rip Impact to break that hold. Both men back up to their feet as he sends Parkside crashing into that top turnbuckle. Nice chop on behalf of Rip Impact.
Back to the middle. Come on, what? 2.
Parkside dips out of the way, follows up with a chop of his own.
Frankly, I think Rip is taking it a little easy on the youngster here.
I think Rip may have second-guessed Parkside a little bit in this matchup, yes. I think he might have pumped the brakes a little bit, thinking that he had some good momentum on his side, and Parkside is starting to show that he's just as quick and ready as the high-risk hero. Shoulder to the midsection. We see next. Flips over, hits the ropes, ducks under that clothesline. And a beautiful heel kick across the jaw of Rip Impact. Followed up by a drop kick to the midsection. Big spear in the corner, sending Rip Impact off his feet. Fans in awe as he hoists Impact up on his shoulder. Shoulder breaker.
Ow.
Should go for the cover right now. Beautiful. Gets the shoulder up at 2. Not enough leverage on that pin. What are we seeing here?
Wow.
I was saying he was a bit of a technical wizard of sorts, but I was not expecting to see that.
Rolling into another submission. At some point here, it's not at some point, it's all match long. I think Rip has let Parkside off easy, and I think that he's got to let his own mean streak. 2 count. Rip Impact has to let his own mean streak out. He has to pull the governor off of himself. And as much as Rip might want a nice, clean match, a friendly encounter, if he wants to win this encounter, he He's gonna have to light a fire in himself, and that might involve a dirty tactic or two.
Normally, I don't like to agree with that side of my commentary partners, but you're not wrong, as Rip seems to be setting up for this Tiger feint kick. He catches every bit of it. Parkside laying lifeless in the center of the ring.
Wow, dial that in long distance.
All right, as he hoists him up.
Spinning into the DDT, very nice.
Goes for the cover. Parkside getting that shoulder up. If Rip Impact hooked the leg, a little bit of extra leverage across those shoulders, he might have been walking out with his hand held high right now. But Rip Impact might need to tap into a little bit of that meaner side to try to put Parkside away. Both of these men are trying to have a little bit too much of a gentleman's agreement here in this matchup. Someone's going to have to take the upper hand.
Elbows to the face.
Calling for the German. Rip fights out with a back elbow of his own. Kick to the midsection. Sunset flip. Parkside rolls through and follows up with a knee right to the nose of Impact.
Very short distance shining wizard there.
Parkside ascending to the top turnbuckle. Frog splash has the cover. Rip Impact getting a shoulder up, but Parkside rolling it right into a submission. Brad Meyer spinning right back around, hopping down, asking Rip if he gives up.
Smart on Parkside's part to go straight from the frog splash into the crossface. But Impact has him again. Oh!
Beautiful execution. Impact hooks the inside leg. Parkside gets the shoulder up just in the nick of time. You can see the wear and tear on the high-risk hero. He's holding that left arm closer to his midsection. His shoulder or his elbow must be starting to bug him.
Well, we saw it when he was on offense that he was holding that elbow even on the run. So there's no doubt in my mind that the left arm is bothering him. He's not going to be... Oh!
And these stiff shots with no elbow pads from the high-risk hero. Calling for the sliced bread. But Parkside's ready for him. Head scissors takedown into the crossface.
Can Impact make it to the ropes? That's the only thing that's going to save him now.
Impact dead center, middle of the ring, trying to crawl across. Parkside trying to hold him back as best as he can. Rolls him over, though.
What?
Oh!
And gets rolled back into the crossface by Devon Parkside.
Absolutely phenomenal.
And he taps!
Devon Parkside picking up a monumental victory over Rip Impact here today. Beautiful technical wrestling from both gentlemen here today. But Parkside is the one who gets to be victorious with his hand held high. Devon Parkside has been in a fury since returning to Pro Wrestling Ontario. Who will he take on next? Great show of respect here from Devon Parkside towards Rip Impact, I should say.
Peeling off that tape helped the circulation in that left arm.
The left arm still seems to be bugging Rip Impact. Oh.
Well, I mean, a show of respect, but begrudging at best.
Turn it off, turn it off. Get away from the split.
Oh, sorry. Real quick, Rip, after a really, really tough contested match up there, unfortunately you came up short. Give us your thoughts, how you're feeling right now.
Just want to rub that in, don't you, Ryan? You're right, though. It was a tough competition. Parkside has been in the ring training and preparing for this.
Thank you.
See, a lot of people here see him and support him. I respect that. But Parkside, I want to say this. You're lucky you beat me. It's not going to happen again.
Thank you so much.
Strong words on behalf of the high-risk hero towards Devon Parkside, saying
So I'm
that
standing here
he'll
with
never get the
winner,
upper hand
Devon
again.
Parkside, ladies and gentlemen. Now, Devon, talk to us about how you're feeling, because this was the age-old tale of student versus teacher, and the student came out on top. How are you feeling right now?
I feel like crap.
Understandable.
Yeah. Rip, tough dude. He's the guy who got me back in here. If anyone's got anything negative to say about Rip, you're saying something negative about me. That guy's a legend, and I appreciate everything he's done for me. Right now, I just need Epsom salt back because I'm hurt.
Thank you so much. Well, I'm going to need you to go and get yourself looked after there. Ladies and gentlemen, how are you enjoying the show so far? That's right. Now, we got something very special lined up for everybody right now. Please put your hands together for the night train, Justin Sane.
Burlington's own, the night train, Justin Sane, making his return to Pro Wrestling Ontario.
Ladies and gentlemen, the night train, Justin Sane. Now, Justin, first and foremost, thank you for being here. I mean, I know you're not booked on the show tonight, but you're here, you're in person, and we know that you've got a brand new gym that's opened up in the Burlington area. So before we get into it, talk to us about what's going on at your brand new gym.
Well, you see, before we get to the gym, it's not really about the gym, it's about everyone here, in my opinion. It's great to be in front of a live crowd again. And it's been 18 long months since I've been inside of a wrestling ring. 18 months. It's felt like 18 years since the world went to straight hell. And myself, as well as I'm sure many of you, had to adapt and overcome to this goddamn pandemic. So gyms closed. Of course, we all knew that. The gym I was working at closed down. I had to make ends meet. My back was up against the wall. So I just took every piece of gym equipment that I had, filled up my car, and every single day woke up at 4:30 in the morning, filled it up, went to Oakville, Hamilton, Burlington, Ancaster, Stony Creek, you name it, whether it was in your basement, your garage, a park, I didn't care. I was there to train the people. Fast forward to now, I got to marry the love of my life, Kim. I opened up the new gym. And even though those were two of the greatest moments of my life, let me tell you, nothing, and I mean nothing, nothing beats that. Nothing beats walking through that curtain, walking down this aisle, stepping through these ropes, and performing inside of this ring in front of each and every single one of you. It's the only thing that makes me feel absolutely Justin Sane.
Who? That's music's familiar, but wait. Oh, God. I mean, we haven't seen this man since the very first year of Pro Wrestling Ontario. Since 2018, I haven't had to see Nick Watts. Why today?
Listen, you're never going to get me to say a bad word about Justin Sane. He and I have run the roads together for years. So to see Nick Watts come out here just drains my will to live.
Now, here's a guy who just came out and told you that he did something that not too many other people have done. The pandemic hit, everybody lost their job, not this guy. He went out there and did something, and that is something that needs to be applauded to Justin Sane. Absolutely, you deserve it. You have your own gym now, and I am proud for you. But why aren't you wrestling today? What is the reason that you aren't wrestling today? You see, when your music hit, I was sitting back there and I was thinking to myself, what the hell is Justin doing here? Now, I understand that some of you have been to a few shows before. You might not know who I am, but when I did work for this company, the last time I was here, I was in a match with this man. He beat me. Yeah, it happened. Everybody can have a fluke day, and he beat me, and I haven't been here since. So, am I a little mad? Yes. So now, I'm not going to tell you to come out here and fight me. I would love to fight you. But you're taking time away from people in the back. Boys who are trying to go ahead and make a name for themselves, and you come out here for a payday to cut a promo? I don't agree with that. So don't go ahead and just stand here and say, oh, I'm so happy to be here, I've done all these accomplishments, but I'm not going to wrestle in front of you people because of why? Because you don't deserve to be here. So I'm going to ask you politely, to please leave the ring. Not because I'm telling you to, but because you respect this industry and you respect the boys in the back, and you have no business being here today. Get out.
Turn it off.
Oh, pick it up.
Good to see you, Nick. It's been a while. Couple years to be exact. From what I see online, congratulations. Again, it's been a few years and we're not out of date, but you're now a father, you're a dad, beautiful young little girl. And I'm glad to see that's something in life that you're not failing at. However, there's one thing I think that seems to be failing on you, and it might be your memory. I don't know if it's Alzheimer's or early dementia, but yes, I did beat you last time we were in this ring, but if I stand corrected, I made you tap like a little bitch last time.
He's not wrong.
I know, dementia. Anyways, so you're right. I'm not here to waste anyone's time. So it's your lucky day. I'm not going to stand here and embarrass you again in front of these good people of Burlington, Ontario. And I will gladly leave this ring. But mark my words, you and I, we will dance again. I promise.
Now get the hell out.
The hell is this? Oh. Okay.
What is going on?
Travis Moore coming to ringside and staring right through Nick Watts.
Good music. You want to talk respect, huh? Respect for the industry? How about you show some respect for Justin Sane? This man was the first ever person I ever met in wrestling, and he helped me start. I can't believe you're here, acting like you're the top guy around here. I just want to fight you. Right now, quit disrespecting Burlington, quit disrespecting Justin. Give me a fight. Ken, get out here.
Asking for well, good on Ken.
Yeah, all right.
Specifically
Take
called
off
him
your
out.
super shades and get in the ring. Someone take the mic.
Let's get ourselves a match.
All right, so it seems like we're going to have safe Travis Moore up against the Devil's Hitman, Nick Watts, as Watts just rushes right into the corner, just stretching the shirt over, jerseying him in. Oh, a stiff chop.
Well, I always love when the inmates rule the asylum, and these two guys have just made themselves a match. I thought that Watts was challenging Justin Sane to a fight, but he didn't even get the chance to do that. Safety Travis came out challenging Watts.
Yeah. Oh, my. Watts just throwing Travis Moore right across the ring.
Well, that is a man definitely taking advantage of the size and weight difference between him and his opponent.
Absolutely. Goes for the cover. Kick out at 1.
Many people have had many things to say about Nick Watts over the years, but they can't say he's not tough.
That is true, but if you're going to be... Oh, sorry, I got to invert it, but if you're going to be tough, you got to be a little dumb.
Did you just call Nick Watts dumb? I'm going to tell him. I'm going to tell him that you said he was dumb.
I mean, we're over here. He's distracted with...
After the match, I'm going to tell him that you said he was dumb. I said he was tough. You said he was dumb. And I'm going to let him handle you much the same way he's currently handling Safe Travis Moore.
Absolutely. As Safe Travis is on the wrong end of that. I mean, I might have to take off a little bit sooner here tonight than I expected. I was going to hang out for the post-show, going for the cover.
No.
But I'm probably going to leave now.
No, you're going to leave as soon as the bell is done, because otherwise Nick Watts is going to make love to you boot first.
Now that is a vision that I don't think any of our fans need to start imagining right here, as Nick Watts has a hold of Travis Moore and has a firm grip on his left armpit, just applying pressure in that pressure point as Travis starts to try to feed that headbutt, but just not enough momentum to take over the big man. Hits him off into the ropes, ducks under that clothesline. Oh, attacks that left knee of Watts. Seems to have been quite effective. Applying more pressure to the knee there. Very smart. Torquing the knee right back in on itself. And punching it. Very, very good work out of Travis Moore here today.
He had a hold with his left hand on Watts' knee pad, pulling the knee pad down to expose the actual knee itself, and then started throwing right hands into the joint.
Reminds me of when he was wrestling JT Kirk in our Foundation series. He had him in the Rings of Saturn and then just started headbutting him profusely until he got knocked out. Watts, though, starting to regain a little bit of momentum and a little bit of power here.
A little bit of momentum. He's currently riding him like a horse and now throwing in those big Van Vader-like forearms across the face of Travis Moore.
The face and almost the back of the head, leveling out Travis face down onto the mat. Watts getting back up to his feet, but the fans seem to be starting to try to rile behind Travis Moore. Watts still favoring that right leg. Few shots to the midsection by Travis Moore. Both men back up to their feet. Starting to fight out, but come on! A hold of the ponytail and everything, like really?
Oh, Travis, you're making me cheer for Nick Watts, man.
That's pretty hard to do.
That was fantastic.
Watts has him in the corner. Nice stiff shot to the ribs there. Forearm right across the rib cage. Trying to create a little bit of space, but that leg is going to really be doing a number on Watts. But
and Travis goes back to it a second time.
Travis Moore going right back to the well, paying off for him. Has the cover. Kick out at 1. Feeding shots straight to the side of Watts and clubbing the chest.
That shot to the knee, that second shot to the knee was so bad that the referee actually leaned in to ask Watts if he was okay. There was a possibility of a referee stoppage just from that shot.
Watts trying to create a little bit of space, but safety was right on him, closing that gap. Looks like he's going to be going up for that sliced bread. Oh, no. Spike Dudley-esque, but going for the cover. Watts gets the shoulder up just in the nick of time. That Spike Dudley-esque bulldog from the top. Well, off the top, I should say.
Come on, man.
Watts looking very dazed. Travis Moore seemed kind of confused, wondering what he can do to pull out against Nick Watts.
Well, I don't think that Watts was expecting this kind of aggression from Travis Moore or anybody. He went out there. He went out there with insulting Justin Sane on his mind. I don't think he expected to see Travis Moore or anybody come out of the back, or even less, to get challenged to a match. And now he's in the thick of it against young Travis Moore. And going to that hair again, I think the long hair is always a mistake.
It does seem to get in the way for a lot of competitors as he's trying to hoist him up for that suplex. Travis Moore fighting out. Knee to the top of the head, and then the jaw. Oh, my. Has him through. Oh, and a headbutt.
Headbutt.
And another one. Safety with 3 straight back-to-back headbutts. Hits the ropes. And the head rush, leveling out. Watts hooks the outside leg. And what? Safe Travis wins.
Wow!
Travis Moore able to pull out all the stops against Nick Watts here today. Oh, and his former partner, Andrew Love, on the patio. Travis Moore looks quite pleased with himself.
Almost out of nowhere.
Yes?
I just beat Nick Watts. The Devil's Hitman has been hit. He's dead.
Watts looking a little bit unhappy with those reactions. What? No, no! Get your hands off Ken. Ken, get out of there.
Smart of Ken to escape.
Watts having a momentary second.
Oh, that
What
wasn't.
I'm looking for.
That wasn't momentary. That's his mean streak. That's his aggression. That's his lack of control. And that's what makes Nick Watts dangerous in any match,
But can also be his greatest downfall.
as we just saw.
Watts definitely not shying away to tell the PWO fans exactly how he feels about them.